Good morning, everyone. See, I like that reaction because it is a celebration this morning. You have no idea the number of times I say good morning, and it's like, no, we need to do a little bit better, but we're going to try it one more time. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you. It is my privilege to welcome you to the ceremonial groundbreaking for the new State of New Jersey Correctional Facility for Women. It's an exciting day, and I am thankful that you are all joining us this morning. 4 years ago, there was a call to action and a demand for justice, and this administration set a very clear and urgent goal to establish a culture of dignity and safety for the population at Edna Mahan Correctional Facility. This morning, we gathered together to celebrate a very visible representation of that goal, the construction of a modern and transformative facility that embraces best practices and reflects the core values that we vowed to uphold in New Jersey. Following the critical announcement by Governor Murphy in 2021 for the closure of the Edna facility, the planning for this new facility began. But we also recognize that if we were to be successful in our goal, we must also establish meaningful and sustainable cultural reforms at every level. And ladies and gentlemen, we got to work. Our aim was simple: to ensure oversight and accountability while promoting positive cultural change and safety and dignity for those entrusted to our care. The cultural reform was intentional, beginning with the construction of a corrections community that included the essential voices of community stakeholders and advocates, our legislators, religious leaders, educators, the incarcerated women and their loved ones, a determined board of trustees, and our dedicated staff and their unions who were committed to being part of the solution. As this corrections community strengthened, so did the success of the cultural reform at the facility, from the full deployment of body-worn cameras to establishing trauma and gender-informed training, from enhancing educational, vocational, trauma, domestic violence, and mental health offerings, to increasing opportunities for family unification, from valuing existing partnerships with organizations like Communities in Cooperation, to launching new partnerships to enhance resources, like establishing a student mentorship and counseling service for the children of incarcerated women through Give Something Back, a national nonprofit aimed at breaking the pipeline to prison. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 years later, the cultural changes we aim to accomplish are now permanent. And I can say with confidence that the New Jersey Department of Corrections has achieved a cultural reformation at the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility. And we have become the gold star standard for others to follow. This is not about checking boxes. It's about building a foundation. When the doors of this new facility open, the foundation for its success will have already been poured with the reforms that we have implemented. It takes a village. And this success would not be possible without true leadership and partnership. I'd like to offer my deepest appreciation to Governor Phil Murphy, who has been a relentless champion and a true leader for criminal justice and prison reform. Governor Murphy's commitment and support has been unwavering. And Governor, we thank you. We're also grateful for the accountability, the partnership, and the support of our legislators who demanded change and supported our efforts in doing so. We look forward to continuing our work together to establish the Incarcerated Women's Protection Act. And we are thankful for our staff and our unions, the determined Board of Trustees, and our community partners who show up, work tirelessly, and transform best practices into reality. In closing, I sincerely thank all of you for making this vision and this new facility a reality, and I welcome you to today's ceremony. Thank you. At this time, I have the true pleasure of introducing our intrepid leader and champion for a safer and fairer New Jersey, the 56th governor of the state of New Jersey, and sir, without a doubt, the best boss and leader that I've ever had the privilege of serving, Governor Philip D. Murphy. So.
Thank you. I have to slip Victoria 20 later for that last comment, which I'll do privately. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Good morning, class. Victoria, thank you for that very gracious and I think most importantly comprehensive introduction, thanking so many folks rightfully. It is an incredible honor for me to be here in Chesterfield. By the way, one of the coolest communities, I think, in our state, as we deliver on our promise to replace the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility with a new, modern, and safe campus. It will be a campus that will help ensure our criminal justice system lives up to a fundamental two-sided obligation. On the one hand, supporting the humane rehabilitation of every incarcerated individual, and on the other, strengthening public safety for every New Jerseyan. It took a long time to reach this moment, as Victoria alluded to. The issues surrounding Edna Mahan have been building literally for decades, and I am proud on behalf of not just Victoria, but our cabinet, especially Lieutenant Governor Tahisha Way, to say that we are the administration who finally said enough. I want to reiterate Victoria's thanks to everyone who helped make this a reality, starting with Victoria and all of her outstanding colleagues at the New Jersey Department of Corrections. By the way, Victoria gave me a Department of Corrections t-shirt several months ago. I want you to know I wear that all over New Jersey. In fact, I was wearing it outside the United States recently. I also want to thank Bonnie Kerness, who we will hear from in a few moments, and all of her colleagues on the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility for Women Board of Trustees. I want to thank my dear friend, Dr. Pamela Boykin-Jones, or as she's more commonly known, Pastor Pam, who has been leading the charge on criminal justice reform in New Jersey for decades. And there are a bunch of other folks I want to thank. I'm going to probably run the risk of omitting some folks. Another cabinet member is with us today, our outstanding treasurer, Liz Moyo. We have legislators here from both chambers, Senator Linda Greenstein, Senator Raj Mukherjee, Senator Angela McKnight, thank you for that, Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez. Where's the mayor? Mayor, where are you? Right in front row. Mayor Shrikant Dopte, nice to be here. When I first heard the word Chesterfield, I had just come into office, and it wasn't for the happy reason we're here today. It was because we were left and you were left with a huge deficit in funding your public education system. And I'm incredibly proud to say in our time in office, we have quadrupled the state aid to Chesterfield, and I'm honored to be back. I want to also give a shout out to my dear friend, Parole Board Chair Sam Plumerai, and his colleagues, Public Defender Jen Saletti, Corrections Ombudsperson Terry Schuster, Latino Action Network's Kuki Rivera, other faith leaders. I see my friend John Taylor in the back. Pastor, nice to see you. I recognize you with your hat. And many others here today, advocates, union members, and representatives. It's an honor to be with you. And finally, two people in particular I want to give a shout out to. And they are, and we're going to hear from one of them in a moment, Myrna Diaz and Don Jackson. Myrna, bless you, and Don, it's an incredible honor to have you here. You both embody what it means for New Jersey to be the state for second chances. And again, we're going to hear from Myrna in a bit, and I'll have more to say on both of them in a few moments. But first, and Victoria alluded to this, a little context. Because while today we're breaking ground on a new facility, this is a moment that reflects an ongoing commitment for our administration, one that we have had since day one, literally, ensuring that our criminal justice system protects the safety and well-being of every individual in New Jersey. As I mentioned a moment ago, for decades, Edna Mahan has stood as a shameful symbol of a deeply flawed status quo. It is a facility that at 112 years old is woefully outdated. It is ill-equipped for protecting the well-being of incarcerated people on the one hand, as well as providing adequate working conditions for our correctional officers. and it is a major drain on resources. By closing Edna Mahan once and for all, we will save our state's taxpayers more than $160 million in what would have been much-needed capital projects that would have been the ultimate good money after bad story. So today we're beginning a new chapter for criminal justice in New Jersey. And as most folks here know, we first announced, as Victoria alluded to, the closure of the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility in 2021. In the years since then, our administration, again led by Victoria and her colleagues, has convened experts and advocates to conceptualize a new state-of-the-art facility that will be safe, secure, and provide a healthier environment to our state's incarcerated women. To start, this new facility will be built right here in Chesterfield, smack dab, I might add, right in the middle of New Jersey. It will be, among other things, a far more accessible location. And that means it will be much easier for family members and friends to visit their loved ones, which is, as we all know, vitally important to the process of rehabilitation and recovery. And this facility will also feature a multi-building campus design with new safety enhancements which will help foster a greater sense of community and harmony. Simply put, this new correctional facility will help provide greater dignity and humanity to the women who live within its walls without sacrificing one speck of the requisite security. And that is essential, absolutely essential, I would add, to restoring trust in our nation's criminal justice system more broadly. Because as leaders and lawmakers, we have a responsibility to strike the just balance between accountability and compassion. And that is why, exactly why last year our administration launched a groundbreaking clemency initiative. For the first time in New Jersey's history, we have established a fair, impartial, and accessible process for granting legal relief to New Jerseyans who have earned their second chance. Lee Kelsey O'Donnell and John Butler are with us in the back who have led that charge. As part of this initiative, we created a brand new Clemency Advisory Board that is bringing together a diverse group of experts with experience from across the entire criminal justice system. And with their guidance and input, I have now provided nearly 170 grants of clemency in just over 15 months. In other words, in less than 2 years, we have provided more pardons and commutations here in New Jersey than previous administrations have in the past 30 years combined. And I might add, we are not done yet. And again, shamelessly fishing for applause. And again, every single individual who has received a pardon or commutation through this initiative has earned their legal relief. As I mentioned, 2 of those individuals are with us today, Don Jackson and Myrna Diaz, whose criminal sentences I commuted in December of last year. Dawn was incarcerated for over 25 years at Edna Mahan, and during that time she completed her GED, her associate's degree, and courses toward a bachelor's degree. She participated in over 60 prison programs, married in 2001, am I right? Is Ron here today? Ron, right behind you, he has your back. Nice to see you again. By the way, I believe the commutation was on your anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. And Dawn and Ron stay close to their many children and grandchildren, and Dawn continues to pursue her education. I mentioned Myrna is going to speak on their behalf, but let's hear it for Don Jackson right now. God bless you. And now, whoa, baby, we got a loose ball there. That was a bee of some sort. And now Myrna, who we'll hear from in a few moments. Her story, like Dawn's, I'm sorry, I unleashed the bee. Over to you all. Like Dawn's in so many ways, is a testament to the sheer power of faith, determination, and justice. Because despite being incarcerated for 18 years, including 14 at Edna, Myrna, again like Dawn, never gave up. Despite struggling with substance use disorder prior to her incarceration, she found her path to recovery and has remained sober over the years. And despite the limitations of life behind bars, she never wavered in seeking new opportunities to grow and learn. And while incarcerated, again, like Dawn, she earned an associate's degree, in her case from Raritan Valley Community College, and then went on later to graduate summa cum laude from Rutgers University with a degree in criminal justice. But yeah. But beyond getting her life back on track, one of the most remarkable aspects of Myrna's story, again echoing in many cases Dawn's, is her unflinching commitment to giving back to her community. While incarcerated, she tutored her neighbors and helped teach bilingual students. She worked dozens of jobs and completed more programs and certificates than I can reasonably count. And most importantly, Myrna rebuilt her relationship with her family. In fact, after I commuted her sentence, one of the first steps she took as a free woman was moving in with one of her sons. Let's hear it from Myrna. Again, we'll hear from her in a few moments. So Dawn's and Myrna's presence here today proves that when we give people grace, dignity, and an opportunity to heal, they can grow, they can flourish, and ultimately they can thrive in our beloved Garden State. Honestly, granting clemency to Dawn and Myrna and the many individuals who share a similar story has been one of the most meaningful and rewarding experiences I have had as governor. I only hope that the facility we're breaking ground on today in a few moments will help make many more stories of recovery and redemption possible. Thank you all. God bless you all. It is my honor to introduce the aforementioned Edna Mahan Correctional Facility Board member, Bonnie Kerness. Bonnie, come on down. Thank you for being here.
Today is a celebration. It's a celebration for Governor Murphy. Without, we would not be here. Deep gratitude also belongs to Commissioner Kuhn, our legislators who heard the need, the staff and board of trustees of Edna Mahan, and the women inside who never gave up reaching out. This moment was born out of an incident of unconscionable abuse to the women at Edna in January of 2021. Governor Murphy's humanitarian responses to that included appointing a new commissioner, refurbishing satellite housing, appointing a board of trustees, which includes justice-impacted women, to oversee improved conditions, and most importantly, a culture change at the women's prison. One of the most powerful supports that we've had at the prison has been a powerful legislative response in their support for the Incarcerated Women's Protection Act, which will cement and ensure appropriate safety, sexual safety, dignity, rehabilitative reforms, which cannot be undone. In 4 short years, Governor Murphy's administration has achieved a remarkable transformation which stands as a model to departments of corrections throughout the country. The Board of Trustees is proud to affirm that the changes include enhanced programming, improved conditions of confinement, a rewarding culture of change, and a promise to the women that today would take place. The importance of this new facility cannot be emphasized enough, with the board remaining committed to community oversight to see this amazing project through. Today marks more than just groundbreaking of a new women's facility. It's a foundation of second chances, growth, and empowerment. This space will not only house women, but will also build hope, healing, and new beginnings. It's an honor for the board to be part of this well-deserved joy. Thank you.
Bonnie, that was really impressive, and to you and fellow board members, deep thanks for your leadership throughout this process. I mentioned her in my early thank yous, but I'm not sure how many times Pastor Pam and I have been together over the years, but we've been together a lot, and she is an extraordinary leader. Please help me welcome Dr. Pamela Pastor Boykin-Jones, founder and CEO of Communities in Cooperation.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm just so honored and so privileged to be here amongst Don Jackson and Myrna Diaz, who chose Communities in Cooperation, Inc. to help them to be reintegrated and to get a new stand on their feet in excellence. Let's give them another hand clap. Standing here today, it feels deeply personal. I began this work as a volunteer in the late 1990s under the leadership of DOC's Dr. Darcella Sessoms. My going inside, sitting with women, listening to their stories, and believing in their potential long before policy caught up with purpose. And now, in my lifetime, I've witnessed one of the most rapid, humane, and transformational reforms in New Jersey's correctional history, beginning with the plans to close the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility. As a part of that process, many women were relocated to an interim satellite unit, a safer, more modern, and more humane environment with natural light, expanded programs, and space for growth and healing. But today, this groundbreaking marks the next step forward, the beginning of an even more progressive facility, one designed not only just to house women, but to honor their humanity, their rehabilitation, and their return to their communities. Governor Phil Murphy, you've made history as the first New Jersey governor not only to confront the conditions at Edna Mahan, but to act decisively, moving us from words to doing the work, from facilities of punishment to environments of restoration. And I must also recognize Commissioner Victoria Kuhn of the Department of Corrections, whose partnership and steadfast leadership alongside the governor have been instrumental in turning this vision into a reality. Together, they have championed a new era for safety, dignity, and rehabilitation. So today, as the plans for a new facility unfold and we break ground, we don't just break earth, we break barriers, we break silence, we break and we open a way for humane futures to begin. As Dr. Maya Angelou once says, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. Today, New Jersey is doing better, not just for women who are incarcerated, but for the soul of justice for our justice system. So as we break ground, let us also break the past and build a future where every life has the chance to rise again. And as Nelson Mandela reminded us, it always seems impossible until done. Today, it's being done. Thank you. May God bless you, and New Jersey be blessed as the best state in the United States of America.
Pastor Pam, that was extraordinary, and your work is extraordinary for decades. I've said this before. If government got an A+++, in other words, we did everything right, we still could not remotely achieve our mission without the help of faith leaders. And Pastor Pam, Pastor Taylor are two dear friends and two great examples of many, some of whom are with us today and many beyond. And when the partnership works, there's a 1 + 1 = 3 result. And I think today is a good example of that, or as good an example of that as I can recall. We have one more speaker, and I mentioned Myrna already, but what I didn't mention is the following. When we, not all of the commutations or pardons, but in at least some cases, actually I do believe in all the commutations, the folks who are being commuted hear that news directly from me. They're asked to, they know they're in a process. They don't know where that process will turn out. There's as I mentioned, this clemency initiative is very rigorous. It's got categories. You've got to go through steps, etc. And again, John and Lee Kelsey and our team do a great job, as does this independent clemency initiative board. But when they get asked to be on a Zoom, they don't know that it's with me, and they don't know what I'm about to say. And you talk about an emotional moment. I know Dawn and Myrna lived it on their side, as have the other folks who have been commuted. And that also includes several, most cases, telephone calls granting a pardon. But to live through that moment, including on my side of that Zoom, is one of the most memorable moments of my life. It's incredibly emotional. But the other point I want to make is, this is not the first time I've seen these two ladies since that moment. So I've seen them on a Zoom, and they're in their prison garb. And the next time I saw them was actually at the next event we had at Rutgers. The transformation was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And now I see the two of you again now today, and the transformation continues. You both look like you're absolutely thriving, and I can't tell you what that means to not just me, but to all of us. Again, speaking on behalf of both Don Jackson, as well as all the other folks who have been commuted, please help me welcome another extraordinary individual, our last speaker, the one and only Myrna Diaz.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Myrna Diaz in Spanish, as our governor calls me, Myrna Diaz. One of the proud clemency recipients under Governor Murphy's historic clemency initiative. I spent 14 years in Edna, Maine before Governor Murphy granted me my freedom less than 1 year ago. Today we stand at the edge of something new. A moment where change meets opportunity and courage meets possibility. This is not just a celebration and a groundbreaking ceremony, but also an opportunity for progress. Change is never easy. It asks us to step out of comfort and into the unknown. But every ending is just the beginning of a new chapter and a chance for renewal. As I look back, I am filled with gratitude for the opportunities that shaped me, the people who believed in me, and even the challenges that tested me. Each one was a teacher in disguise. Each experience, whether joyful or difficult, prepared me for where I stand today. To those who opened doors when others closed them, thank you. To the mentors who guided me, the friends who stood by me, and the family who never gave up, thank you. To the dedicated clemency staff, Mr. John Butler and Ms. Kelsey Leigh O'Donnell, thank you. At Edna, even through the challenges, I was able to graduate with a degree from Rutgers University under the New Jersey STEP program. Mr. Chris Agans, thank you. I was able to flourish as a paralegal. To Ms. Thatcher and Ms. Lovelace, thank you. These skills and experiences I currently use at my present jobs to help others and help them also try and obtain the relief I was able to obtain. To New Jersey Public Defender Jennifer Soletti, Dr. Jessie De La Cruz, and Ms. Cookie Rivera, thank you. As a member of the Returning Citizens Group, Mr. Edwin Ortiz, thank you for the opportunities your organization has granted me. Pastor Pam from CIC and Ms. Waters from Urban League, may you continue to impact the lives of women like me. Dr. McCrae, your group, Healing Trauma, Embracing Faith at Edna Main Correctional Facility, changed my life. May this new facility give you an even bigger space to continue changing lives for the better. I expect that this new facility continues the changes that Commissioner Kuhn brought to Edna. The newsletter, Perspectives Reimagined, the various social groups, Knitting Club as well, Assistant Commissioner Tomei's Fashion Institute Design Studio, the Women's Focus Group, and the Speaker Series. It's important to acknowledge and understand the presence of Commissioner Kuhn at Edna finally gave the women a sense of presence and a voice. Thank you. A new facility is a new beginning. As we move into this new beginning, let us carry forward the spirit of progress, because change isn't just about leaving something behind. It's about transforming what was into what can be. It's about purpose and opportunity and fulfilling promises. Governor Murphy and Commissioner Kuhn, thank you. So here's to new beginnings, to fresh starts, to better housing, more programs, better educational opportunities, better visiting centers, safer places, and much more. Today we gather to celebrate a milestone as one door prepares to close and another to open. Let's embrace the present while fiercely believing in the future and better opportunities for women. Thank you.
Myrna, thank you. That was so impressive. And to all, by the way, Victoria, I believe, potential subsidiary on this new location, given the colony of bees here, will be a kick-ass honey production. I feel like this is a Stephen King novel here. Good Lord.
You don't need barbed wire.
Yeah, exactly. Good Lord. But Myrna, thank you to you and Don and to all of your fellow folks and family members. Again, Victoria, to you and your team. Bonnie, to you and your colleagues. Pam, to you and your faith leader colleagues. To all the elected officials who we acknowledge, to all the advocates, union leaders. God bless you all. This is an extraordinary day here in the state of New Jersey. With your blessing, Madam Commissioner, I think maybe a bunch of us take a picture in front of the banner and then we'll go out and put the shovels in the sand. Is that all right? Thank you all.
Bonnie, I saw you down here. I think we're in the
Look for your last name. Everyone just look for your last name. And you grab a shovel. Thank you. Look for your last name. Thank you. Press. Can you move this way? You need press. You can move up this way. Give you some. We have Rivera's right here. The mayor's right here. Thank you. The commissioner. The treasurer's right here. Treasurer. Treasurer.
We all good here?
Yep.
Liz, take your time. Okay, let's put sand, dirt in the shovel, and then just hold it like this. Is that okay? Look up and smile. We do bar mitzvahs as well, by the way. And then we'll throw on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. One more. 1, 2, 3. I'd love to swap in our legislators who are here. We have Linda, but I'd love Jessica, Raj, and Angela to come in. Could maybe one or two of you ladies. Does that work? Do we have enough? We good? One more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It's a wrap. All right. Congratulations, everybody.